There we go. The mic was muted. Okay, let me start again. Welcome everybody to the chart chat for July 28th. The summer stock rally has actually finally begun. We're almost in August, so I think we're going to see 1 month going into September. We're going to see some months. This is the long-awaited stealth rally. Well, I was expecting a big rally, but this is actually a stealth rally. We're starting to see massive explosions in rockets taking off, going to Mars. The first two we're looking at today are RHT, Relic Health, RQHTF, over the counter. We're looking at Logic. Both of these stocks are exploding. They've been sleeping for quite a while, and now they've taken off. There's some amazing looking charts right now. It's really like we're going to be having some, I think, going into September, it's going to be insane. So everybody is on vacation right now. So, okay, so before we get started, nothing here is a recommendation to buy or sell securities. This is only opinion, not official company information. Do your due diligence. These are clients of Wall Street Report, the companies that we're discussing. So that is tuning in. Make sure, of course, you go to our website and you sign up for our Telegram channel. The link is in the video description below. Also, we are on Discord. Again, link in the video description below. And of course, our Baby Unicorns live stream, August 10th. Last time we had a couple of stocks that moved pretty well. We had one of them that almost doubled. That was Pump was the symbol. PUMP. It was 2.5 cents. Almost doubled. I think went to 4 cents in like a day. So good opportunity to find some early stage opportunities. Okay, let's get into the charts right now. Relic Health. So this is a stock that we introduced. Wow, when did we introduce this thing? Back in was it February? I think it was late February, early March. It had a nice kind of move up. Then, of course, the microcap markets got whacked. And this was no different. We saw actually it held up pretty well. All else, taken into consideration. So the stock has actually held up well. Today, we're seeing a monster rally. The company's come out with some incredible news. Really, it's kind of what they've been saying all along, but now everything was all the same. So I think what you're starting to see happen is, all the doubters, all the haters, and this company has a lot of haters and doubters from, way back, I don't know. All of a sudden they're starting to realize, wow, this thing is legit. And they're going to, if you look at today's press release, they're going to have, $1.5 million this quarter revenues. They're going to exit this year at a $24 million run rate, 11 million on the books. 24 million run rate, I believe. I'm just talking from memory. I might be off by $1 million or $2 million. And what does that mean? What does that mean? What that means is this company has a path to equals $5 per share based on 200 million shares. I have to have 170, so I'm exaggerating a little bit. So this could be $5 a share by January. So you get a clear path. Runway to $5 a share is once people see the quarter, the September quarter, by mid-October, November, all of a sudden, this thing is not going to be trading at 50 cents or 60 cents by then. By the time October, November comes around, there's going to be more of the pipeline is going to come into visibility. And I think at that point, people are going to say, wow, these guys are legit. It's actually happening. And again, the market is valuing these telehealth companies, especially these fat profit margins, at massive multiples, 50x revenues. So you're going to see I think it's very possible that you're going to see, the market, sophisticated investors putting a multiple of 50x forward revenue by late December, January. And that what that means is $1 billion valuation, 24 million revenues times 50, $1 billion plus, 200 million shares. That's your $5. That's how I came up with that number. Of course, the incredible news is this. The company already has, if you look at their press release, they have, what did they say? They had 200,000, where are my notes? I don't remember these things, remember. 200,000, they already have, it's a done deal, 200,000 people that are going to be on board. So they have contracts in place, and these 200,000, which are going to come on board over the next, 12, 18 months. Again, it's a done deal. It's not like they have to go out and sign new people. It's done. It's in the bag. They just got to onboard them. That will generate 100 million plus revenues, recurring revenues, big margins, big profit margins. What is that worth? Again, 50x, 100 million is 5 billion. It's a lot of money, right? So 5 billion share. $25 a share. Of course, what I think is going to happen is the market is forward looking. It extrapolates things cash to like $2. Then it's going to, this is the way it normally happens. Shot to $25. Will never happen. Even to $5. It'll never be a straight shot. I think it's actually, we got a pretty good shot right here to maybe 250, but I think 250 on the stock is very realistic, and I think we could start seeing that start to happen immediately. But again, it's going to be like this. Check out the interview we had with Lisa. It's on YouTube right now. Question, what do you go? I think we're going to see a massive move. Let's look at this chart. Okay, so again, I don't really want to talk about fundamentals because that's not what this is about. What this is about is purely the charts, and charts do not lie. So here's what's happening. If you look at the moving average, it's a 50-day moving average. It's actually been very accurate in, giving us the trend. If you notice right over here in December 2019, the stock broke above the moving average. What is it, 25 cents to almost $1. So it was a 4x, 4 times your money. Then it broke below the moving average in March 29th. And it dropped by 30% roughly. And today you had a breakout above the moving average. Today is actually the first substantive high conviction close above the moving average that we've had in, basically since December. So at this point, I think we are in full bull mode. So you had the moving average breakout. And again, it also broke out of these trend lines that I'm showing you here. So you have a key resistance line. This line that you see at the top, that is a key resistance line. It broke clean above that. And you can see that it bounced off that support level we saw in that kind of 45-cent range. So the question is, where does the stock go from here? The next level of resistance is, I don't know, maybe in the 70. I don't think there's going to be that much resistance in the 70 range. I mean, really, you're talking about 85, 90 cents is where you're going to have resistance. So I think we'll get a pretty clear shot between here and 90 cents. And then it could break out of there. Once it might spend, I really think what's going to happen is the stock is going to go to 90 cents, maybe $1 range over the next few weeks. And then it's going to kind of hang out in that $1 range for a few weeks. It's going to consolidate in that range. And then I think it's going to go to 250 by October, November. So my target on RHT is 250 by November, mid-November. Sometimes I'm off. Of course, I was pretty right about CBDT back in December. I said this was going to go to what I think I said What was my number? Was it the dollar? I don't know. But anyway, look at the old videos. So yeah, this thing really reminds me of like CBDT early, back in last December, when the stock was I don't know, 30 cents, and then it went to 250. So I think we're going to see the same thing happen over here. Let's take a look at the next big winner. Logic. All of a sudden, everybody's waking up to Logic. Stock we've been talking about for quite a while. Introduced last year, $3.50, I believe, or $3. I think it was $3.50. It went to $14 within a few months. So from $3.50, it went to $14. So that's a 3x, 4x, whatever you want to call it. Unfortunately, they announced a financing in Canada, of all places, and the Canadians are absolutely the worst in the capital markets game. So basically what happened is, as soon as they announced the financing, all the short sellers in Canada come out, they short the stock, and at the bottom, it gets to $3. They cover. And of course, the worst thing about Canada is once a company announces a financing, they can't do any promotion, they can't really put out any news. They're basically defenseless. So it's an incredible opportunity for short sellers. I mean, it's made in heaven. It's really insane how these things work. And of course, the investment bankers love to see these stocks get crushed, because that means they're able to get their clients in really, really cheap at the bottom, which is what you see happening with Logic. Is it a coincidence that now that they closed the financing and they did the overallotment, all of a sudden the stock is rallying? Coincidence? I don't know. Coincidence. So what you see here is a double bottom in Logic, in that let's call that 250 kind of range, 240, 250, 220, wherever it is. You see this really nice double bottom from last year, 12 months, perfect double bottom. And now you see the stock breaking out of the 50-day moving average. Again, this moving average, very accurate. Look what happened the last time Logic broke above this. July, it broke above the 50-day moving average at $2.40, and it went straight up to $9.50. Okay, so you had a 4x in about a month. So you had a 4-bagger within a month. And of course, you had a bit of a fake out over here, a couple of fake outs over here, and ultimately $14. And then you had your sell signal probably right dollars when it broke below the moving average. And the stock just went straight down. And today you have a high conviction close above this moving average, 335 right now. And again, look what happened the last time we had this. The stock was a 4-bagger. I believe we're going to see a $10 stock price in Logic within 6 weeks. This is a very thin stock. I know it sounds crazy. Oh, promotion, pumping. No, it's the reality. I'm showing you what happened in the past, and the history rhymes. It does not repeat, but Logic at, might just go to $12. It might just be a 4x from here. I mean, it's incredibly accurate. Look this moving average has been really wonderful. Yeah, so this thing is going to go straight up. I think we're going to see $10 within, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, maybe even $12.50. Anyway, this thing is in bull mode. Look at the massive volume. So stock is going up on big volume the last 3 days, above the moving average. So this is in full bull mode. Okay, so that is Logic. Who else is next on this list? Again, I think what we're seeing right now is this summer stock rally. I was expecting this to, kick off in, mid, maybe even the first week of July. Of course, the market has its own ideas, and we're a month late, but here it's happening now. So better late than never. What other stocks? And by the way, now we're seeing these bottoming patterns in a couple of stocks, a systemic type of thing. Tetra Biopharma. Here is the one-day chart. I think we're getting some action. I believe we may have hit the bottom today, so 25 cents, nice bounce. Let's see what happens next couple of days. Again, TBP, we've talked about it before. Potential for this stock is, easily 250 in the next couple of months. So it could be, I know it sounds crazy, but 250, it's really very cheap for what these guys have. Phase 2 trials, drugs that are addressing, $200 billion opportunities, pain management, or a cannabinoid replacement alternative to opioids. It's a big deal. So these guys are looking at a couple $100 billion market opportunity. So yeah, this thing is set for big things. So TBP looking good. Let's see what else is happening in our little universe. I'll mention fans real quick. Fans is this chart is the trend line from something else, but anyway, fans is kind of, again, it got whacked from when they announced the financing. You guys know what happens when these financings happen. So it's gotten, it's taken a hit. It's probably about to bottom. It may bottom at 60 cents. It may bottom here, but you're going to see basically a few weeks before this thing really goes back into full bull mode. It could happen sooner, but when it does, I think we're going to see another run at that 250 price range. So that is Fans Unite. Okay, here is another. This is an esports stock. Let me clear these trend lines. Okay. This looks familiar to you or not, but to me, this chart pattern looks very familiar. It looks a little bit like a combination of logic and RHT. We're seeing a double bottom over here in this $1.25 range, and at some point here, I expect ESE to turn and break above the moving average. So keep an eye on this. Could happen any day. Again, ESE, very thin stock, just like logic, and the last time this thing broke above the moving average was way back in late November. From 25 cents, it ran to 450. 27 cents, it ran to 450. So what is that? Is that 15x? 15x. So if you put in 10 grand into the stock in late November, you would have had $150,000 plus. So if you'd have shares at, let's call it 30 cents, if you put in 30 grand in November, 100K, by February of this year, you would have had 450. Again, if you started with $30,000, you would have had $450,000 by February, within a few months. I think we're going to see the same thing happen again right now. You're going to see a bounce over here, a breakout above. Happen, I believe, any day. Could happen any day now. You're going to see a break, and when it breaks, at that point, this thing could run. I mean, there's really not a lot of resistance, and $3, I would say. So you could see almost a triple in the stock very easily. There's really very little in between here and 350. Nothing. I mean, this is like So once this thing starts moving, it's going to run big time. Again, tuning in for the first time, make sure you click the like button, the subscribe button. If you want to join our YouTube channel, click the link in the video description to join our Baby Unicorn Stocks live stream. Of course, what is that all about? It's to introduce you to very, very early potential unicorns, I should say. So early stage, so companies which are earlier than what we normally have. So these are like not even ground floor. These are like basement opportunities. So stocks very cheap and they could really pop, which we've seen happen already. So I'm pretty sure the next company we introduce in the Baby Unicorn, we're going to have like 2-3 companies, and one of them is going to double, like that day. That's what we've seen so far. Okay, let's go to what is next. Red Light Holland. So Red Light is actually they're not a client of Wall Street Reporter at the moment, or maybe I don't know. But they're not a client, so we're not really going to cover the company too much. But their chart looks very similar to ESE, so I think this thing could pop. I'll be very happy if it takes off. As I have some shares now, and it would be nice if it explodes. If this thing goes to $100, I'll be very happy. But I think we're going to see some action here, probably when the merger closes. We'll see what happens. But I think this is a very, very similar chart to what you saw in ESE. If you want me to draw your trend line, I will. Although I hate doing this for companies that are not clients, they're not paying clients. I hate doing free work. Okay. There is your base. I think we're going to see this thing blow up from here. And I think that Bruce Linton is going to be coming on board probably next month once they close that deal. And then that's it. Basically, you're buying into that story now. So let's go to RHT. Boom, into the close. We are rallying, hardcore rally here. Wow, this thing is like look, the stocks we're giving here, these are not like little Jeff Bezos, little bottle of rockets that, they go up a 5-minute joyride, parachute down, or like that fake astronaut, Richard Branson with his little, the guy takes up a little Cessna plane into that stuff is nonsense. We have here real rockets. These things are going to Mars. These are one-way ticket to Mars. These things are never coming back. Mars, one way, boom, like that. Real rockets, exploding rockets. Yeah, so look, you can buy a ticket to Mars for 63 cents right here. Or 5 billion, however much it costs. You don't need to be a multi-billionaire to go to Mars. You can just own one share of RHT, and that's going to go, because this thing is going to go to Mars. Of course, let me just run that. Let me put that banner up about the disclaimer here. I don't want people to get the wrong idea here. This is all financial entertainment here. We're not making recommendations to buy, sell securities. Do not listen to anything I'm saying here. This is all a very, very biased opinion. We're paid by the company, so don't take anything I say seriously. If you look at the past track record, which has been, I would say pretty good in terms of the companies we've introduced, but nothing is guaranteed for the future. Yes, RHT, the Mars rocket, is taken off. What's next? I think, again, you might see a little bit of resistance over here somewhere, but that's it. This thing is going to just blast off. You know what I love about the stock? Here's what I love about this. There are so many haters. If you go on some of these message boards like CEO, CA, look, you got people who came in very early, which is great. You have to commend people coming early, but then I think some of these people, they sold out, they took a loss. And now, you have a lot of bitter people saying they don't even own the stock. I think some of these people haven't owned the stock in 2 years, and they're basically, bashing this thing. This is exactly like Tesla. If anybody remembers the Tesla story, wow. I mean, that thing early on, it went through so many ups and downs. Everybody was doubting this company. I'm one of those people. I always thought Tesla was a bullshit company. I still think I hate their cars. I think it's a bullshit company. But listen, the numbers don't lie. I mean, they're doing, what is it, $1 billion in profit they made this quarter? I mean, the numbers are crazy through the roof. But they went through they couldn't get their production on time. They had all sorts of problems. And this is just the last few years. How about early on? I remember this is right when Elon Musk came on board, nobody believed it. This was how many years back? I remember seeing a Tesla car in 2009. I was at the Pebble Beach concourse, the thing they do in Pebble Beach in the summer. Fantastic show. And I remember seeing one of these Teslas. It was like a roadster, and I saw that in the interior was like these cheap finishes. It just looked like it was something like, made in China. It looked terrible. And I was like, man, this company is just never going to make it. And one of my many, many, many mistakes in life. But RHT is exactly like that. This is the Tesla of healthcare. Look at this. I mean, compare this to CloudMD, a stock we introduced last year at, how much was it last year? At 50 cents, I think it was when we introduced, whatever it was. This time last year, July 31st, I think it was. And people didn't believe that company, and it went to $3. I think this is much better. This is the real, and you're going to see some incredible action. And of course, we got Logic. Okay, the computer is frozen. Yeah. So you got Logic taking off right now as we speak. What are the stocks? Okay, so I covered TBP, ESC, even Trip, Logic, how can I forget PKK? Oh my God. One of our original rockets. Where is it? Where is PKK? Where is PKK? Okay, PKK. Okay, so this chart is all screwed up now because they're doing this reverse split. So essentially, if you owned, 1,000 shares, now you own 500. I'm not a fan of reverse splits, to be honest with you. To be very, very honest with you, I'm not a big fan. So the chart is all screwed up. I don't even know what's going on with this. It's all like, so basically we're at 5.25. We're above the moving average, so it's a very bullish. And it really screws things up when they do these reverse splits, because then it's like I gotta redo all the math and everything. Anyway, if they're doing the reverse split right now, I have to imagine that a NASDAQ listing is imminent, meaning within a week, 10 days. Otherwise, why would they do it, right? Like usually companies wait till the last minute. So I believe something is happening here. And, I don't know, this for some reason, the one thing which is weird with Peak, they're not real promoters. I mean, they don't really, maybe it's like a French thing because, it's like a French Canadian thing, but they really don't promote the stock, like promoting. So I think that probably then they may have a NASDAQ listing and they're just not announcing it. They may have gotten the go ahead, and that's where they're doing the reverse split now. I don't know. I don't know. I have not spoken to the CEO since the live stream, so I don't know what's going on. I assume that's the deal, basically. So I think we could see a nice little breakout here. The stock is very close to breaking out to new highs. So, of course, now we got the split. So based on this chart, I think once it breaks out of the $6 range, which was the old $3, you're going to see a double. So, $12 easy. So it's an easy double or triple, I believe, once it breaks out of $3. Keep an eye on this. It's got to break out of $3. Oh my God, RHT into the last minute. We are closing at the highs. An incredible day. One small step for man, one large leap for 100-bagger stocks. Incredible action here. We are closing at 64 cents, up 37% on the day. Unbelievable. And even Logic is acting near the highs. So, wow, look at this. And this is all while the NASDAQ is, the NASDAQ is up, the Dow is down. That, let's go back to RHT. Full screen, boom. As you can see, of course, the breakout, and that is it. We have closed at the high of the day. Man, I would say this is a high conviction close. When you see that type of chart pattern, opening at the low and just boom, closing right at the high on big volume, high conviction. Last time we saw this type of action was February 1st. And you saw what happened. I mean, the stock basically doubled in a couple of weeks. So yeah, I think this was going to go back to 90 cents plus, and then 250 by October, November. The rocket is leaving. It's going straight to Mars. One-way ticket. This is not a Jeff Bezos, dildo rocket with a parachute that comes down after 20 minutes. It's not even a real rocket ride. It's like I had model rockets when I was a kid. Those Estes rockets, they ignite, they go up and then they come down with a parachute. Then you lose them because the wind carries them off. They land in a tree. That's what that is. I mean, Jeff Bezos basically is doing what I was doing at 12 years old with $20 Estes rockets. This is a Relic is a Mars one-way trip. Maybe not even Mars. This could be like Star Trek. It might be galaxies beyond. And Logic is next. Logic, my target on Logic is minimum $20 per share, which is right here. And of course, the company had reverse splits. This chart is kind of screwed up, but it goes to show you where the stock was in the past and where it can go. So look at this beautiful double bottom. It's just a question of execution, and that's it. Okay, thank you for joining today's live stream. Click the link in the video description below and subscribe to the channel. Click the Baby Unicorns link if you want to join our Baby Unicorn live stream August 10th. Yeah, August 10th. And that is it. Of course, wow, very quiet today. Everybody's on vacation. What that means, this is when you make the big money. The opportunities only occur during this type of vacuum. That's why I'm here. I mean, you don't think I could be, on the beach somewhere, whatever? No, this is it. I am here because I see massive opportunities developing right now. I am not taking any vacations this summer. Maybe in November, after we see some massive 100-bagger wins. I will see you in the